be the
even all that
Gangsta
style.
style.
Yeah.
Today on X-Play, Darkstalkers fights its way onto the PSP. GoldenEye Rogue Agent looks for redemption on the Nintendo DS. And we get an eyeful of Final Fantasy Advent Children. Personally, I think the big swords are compensating for something. It's game time. Now with +3 stamina, it's co-hosts Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Hello and welcome to X-Play, the show that is totally looking for an Arcanite Reaper. We'll trade you the Lay of Lilies and an intern for it.
The Lay of Lilies? That's completely worthless.
It allows you to summon a lotus fruit every 15 minutes. It's like webband.com of World of Warcraft.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, that's okay, because on today's show, we have two nostalgic fighting games from the 90s and a whole bunch of handheld games.
They're simple, they're addictive, and some of them aren't even 3D. So even if you don't know your night elves from your high elves, you'll find something to enjoy on this program.
Plus, the icing on the cake, a look at the new Viewtiful Joe game, and more footage from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the CG movie that proves androgynous men really do have the biggest swords.
But we begin with a classic Capcom fighting game from the 90s.
Sure, everyone knows Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, but there's a lesser-known Capcom fighting series that's finally getting a second life on the PSP.
And it has werewolves. Here's our review of Darkstalkers Chronicles, the Chaos Tower.
You know, everyone loves an epic monster battle matchup, like Godzilla vs. Mothra, Freddy vs. Jason, or Clint Howard vs. Don Swayze, which is what the developers at Capcom must have known when they made our next game, Darkstalkers Chronicle the Chaos Tower for the PSP. Oh look, I've suddenly been transported back in time to 1998. There's just enough time to save Sonny Bono from that tree. No way, this is just a compilation of 3 old games ported over to a new system. That's right, people, the Darkstalkers are back. For those of you unfamiliar with the series, Darkstalkers is an old-school 2D fighter with famous monsters. Only their names are different. Like, Dimitri is obviously supposed to be Dracula, or Lestat, or Count Chocula, or somebody. Victor is Frankenstein. Jay Talbane is a big bad werewolf. Anakaris is kinda like a mummy. This guy's a lagoon creature of some sort. This is... I don't know. Pass. Maybe the Wasp from the Avengers? Oh, and baby Bonnie Hood is Little Red Riding Hood, the scariest monster of them all. So the anime-inspired monsters are pretty cool, and the gameplay is even better. The intricate yet distinct Street Fighter-derived play mechanics make it accessible to the masses, but deep enough for the hardcore. And the ass-crunching combos have awesome names like Soul Flash and the Chaos Flare and the Love Herpy. Okay, maybe I made that last one up, but they are good. I mean, when's the last time you saw a vampire do a pile driver? The controls fare well on the PSP. There's wireless multiplayer, and even a variety of speed settings for the extreme junkies out there. Seriously, dude, you can get super fast. Hey, I beat the game in 5 seconds. The only new part of the game is the Chaos Tower mode, where the player selects 3 characters to battle through a branching series of fights without any ability to heal. Honestly, there's not much chaos in the Chaos Tower. If you look, it's really very linear. Maybe parking at the Chaos Tower is crazy. Ultimately, a new game with new characters and gameplay would have been better than a port, but Darkstalkers Chronicles is still a solid and satisfying portable fighting experience. As Dimitri or the Count from Sesame Street would say, we give it 3 love herpes out of 5.
Love herpes?
They're why Robin Williams' wife almost divorced him in the 80s.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course. The Darkstalkers looks pretty good on the PSP. I mean, these 2D fighters are capable of enjoying a second life on the handhelds. But when they try to put them back on the consoles, not so much.
Still, that didn't stop Capcom from milking a dead horse. Here's Capcom Fighting Evolution for the Xbox.
Beating a dead horse.
Did I say milking?
Yeah.
Remember the good old days of going to your local Blips video arcade and plopping in 2 bits to be dazzled by the cutting-edge gameplay of the current Street Fighter games? Yeah, I can't remember that far back either. But that still didn't stop Capcom from releasing Capcom Fighting Evolution for the Xbox. If you didn't catch the release of the game for the PS2 over 7 months ago, don't worry, you aren't missing much. It seems Marty left a hole in the time-space continuum, allowing all your favorite characters from Street Fighter 2 and 3, Street Fighter Alpha, Darkstalkers, and the practically unknown Red Earth to get together and throw a smack my bitch up party. Okay, maybe they are not your favorite, but they are characters from the game. Hey, a squid-snail hybrid. Wow, is there anything the Japanese can't do? Now, you would think that the developers would take advantage of the Xbox's hardware and take these characters to the next level. But instead, they cut and pasted their coin-up likenesses, giving the game an old-school look. We're talking BC, people. Another side effect of this piecemeal system is you have high-resolution characters fighting low-resolution characters from the other game, which makes the graphics look even more dated than they already are. It's like Super Mario versus Pong. Leapfrog! Leapfrog! Yay! Not to mention the severe character imbalances, where you have one character with many fancy pants abilities and blocks, and this little fighter has none. Just doesn't seem fair, does it? So, do as I do and take your aggression out on someone else. And by that, I mean take advantage of Xbox Live. Being able to use the online function truly makes this classic fighting game much more enjoyable to play. Quit hitting yourself! Quit hitting yourself! Don't get me wrong, this game isn't terrible. On a pure nostalgia level, the controls and gameplay are rock solid, and will make hardcore fanboys stay in the front of their jeans. But for me, it could have offered a lot more. I guess I'm just a game snob, so sue me. I'll just throw it with the other 1,000 lawsuits I already have. We give Capcom Fighting Evolution a 3 out of 5. So, 2 Capcom fighting games, 2 platforms, and 2 scores of 3 out of 5.
In other words, unless you're a collector who loves 2D fighting, don't buy either of these games. Rent them. Gamefly.com.
They have hundreds of games you can rent or buy, so you can save your money for other things.
Like contributions to Live Aid, donations to your favorite charity.
Or buying action figures. That's what I would do. Because I'm a very bad person who needs to live through modeled plastic.
Coming up, GoldenEye Rogue Agent for the Nintendo DS because it can't be worse than the console version.
Man, this 555 deal's really popular. Mr. Trump, here you go, 3 medium pizzas, $5 each.
Tell you what, I'll counter that offer with an even better one. Here's the deal. You give me those 3 pizzas, only I'll give you just $5 apiece.
Sure. Okay.
Still got it, Donald. Still got it.
Call now and get 3 or more medium one-topping pizzas for just $5 each. Get the door. It's the Domino's 555 deal.
Here I am, 50 years old, and I'm out in a bikini, and that makes me feel very good. I think lean muscle makes me a lot sexier.
How can a 50-year-old grandmother look this good? Simple. She strength trains with Bowflex.
I feel like women can really benefit from strength training, especially at my age. Being healthy and fit is very important to me, and yes, I'll be fit all my life. I'm 50 years old, and I have a Bowflex body.
Call the number on your screen now to get a free video or DVD that shows you how you can get great results with Bowflex.
When I started working out on the Bowflex, I started seeing results within about, actually the first week. I was feeling better, seeing results, and by the 5th week I had lost 17 pounds. I was amazed. I'm leaner, I'm happier, I'm sexier than I've ever been.
All it takes for great results is one simple workout done 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week.
The health club takes up too much time, and I don't have that much time in my day. The Bowflex, it's safe, it's reliable, and I can get a good workout from head to toe. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. It's very zen and fits with my zen surroundings.
And now you can own your very own Bowflex Extreme for no money down and payments of just $19 a month.
My results are very real. When I look in the mirror, I can't help but smile. I feel so good about myself. I feel happier, more confident. I can even keep up with my 5-year-old granddaughter. Working out with Bowflex helps me feel like I am defying age, you know, holding back time. I'm in control. I'm 50 years old and I have a Bowflex body. Thank you, Bowflex.
no matter what your age. If you want real results, you'll need the home gym that's proven and comes with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Bowflex. Call us now, and we'll send you a free DVD or video that tells you all about it. Or visit us at extremebowflex.com today.
Euphoria, the mother of all video game award shows, hosted by Wilmer Valderrama, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Blowing poison darts at the video game industry since 2003, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Sometimes I accidentally inhale and I die. Welcome back to X-Play.
Last year, we reviewed a little game called GoldenEye Rogue Agent, also known as GoldenEye Rouge Agent for those of you who can't spell.
It's the follow-up to one of the greatest first-person shooters ever made for the consoles, GoldenEye 007 for the N64.
So we thought it would totally rock.
Oh my lord, were we totally wrong.
EA, who once made awesome games, turned out an abominable shooter that sullied the reputation of the legendary original.
Sadly, like resourceful hunters, EA uses every part of the license.
Which means GoldenEye Rogue Agent is headed for the Nintendo DS, looking for redemption in a portable form. Here's our review.
It could easily have been more than your eye.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to acquire GoldenEye Rogue Agent and insert it into a Nintendo DS. You will encounter fast-paced action, vicious enemies, and multiplayer support. But you will also endure boring objectives, weak graphics, and some of the worst sound you will ever hear. And, by the way, this message will self-destruct. I think we all hold a special little place in our hearts for the original Nintendo 64 title. But GoldenEye Rogue Agent has almost as much to do with that game as I had to do with the fall of communism. Instead, fans now play as a spy gone naughty, with a gun in his hand and revenge in his heart. Oh, girls just love bad boys. This first-person shooter has 6 separate missions, and they play out on the dual-screen platform. Over the course of the short campaign, players complete very basic objectives. Shoot armed villains, shoot even more armed villains. Hey, I got a joke. Knock knock, who's there? Dead guy. Oh, that never gets old. Even if you don't count the repetitive death sequences, the bad guys are still predictable. Your location can trigger an ambush, and running towards the thugs freezes them in their tracks. At least players do get to use a variety of gadgets, including green vision, lasers, death cannons, the classic enhanced eye, and of course the good old-fashioned butt whooping. Personally, I like using the dazed villains as a human shield. Alright, somebody better give me a decent mission objective or this wife beater gets it. The 3D environments also offer interactive features like breakable scenery and triggered traps. I'm sorry, did I do that? And at a glance, the levels seem colorful and well-designed, but a closer look will reveal a drunken mess of pixels. Yeah, not so nice. But overall, gameplay is relatively smooth. There are no frame rate hiccups, and the action makes full use of both screens. As a matter of fact, let's check out that bottom screen, shall we? Thrilling! The controls are easy enough to figure out, but they're not the most responsive. As a result, your character moves awkwardly and aims almost as well as a blind child. After a few rounds of wasted ammo, you might want to explore some other alternatives. In the end, this is a decent first-person shooter, but it fails to live up to its predecessors, or to the EA pedigree. GoldenEye Rogue Agent gets its cover blown with a 3 out of 5.
Wow, even smaller and with worse graphics, it's still better than the console version. It's not a good sign.
Of course, just because Rogue Agent was worse than Timothy Dalton's Bond movies, that doesn't mean that EA is done with 007.
Yes, there's yet another Bond game in the works, and this one stars the best Bond ever.
Roger Moore.
Sean Connery, what's wrong with you?
In The View to a Kill, Roger Moore made love to Grace Jones and then lived to tell about it. If that isn't heroic, I don't know what is. She looks like one of the women from Tao Feng.
Well, she has an acting career to fall back on.
She hasn't made a movie since Vamp.
Oh. As I was saying, Sean Connery's likeness will be starring in the From Russia with Love game, which sounds like a dating sim, but it isn't.
So hopefully EA will get this one right, or at least put the line, "Who's the man now, dog?" in the game.
And now, a total change of subject.
Cool.
In 2003, an awesome action game called Viewtiful Joe was released.
None of you people played it because you didn't buy a GameCube, you cheap bastards.
Then it came out on the PS2, and you still didn't buy it.
Well, that didn't stop Capcom from making a new Joe game for the Cube, and maybe someone other than us will play it. Here's our first look at the new Viewtiful Joe.
That was awesome. Now stick around. Later in the show, we have Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, and the swords in it are huge.
What are you implying?
Up next, in light of current world events, they probably could have come up with a more sensitive title than Bomberman.
What are you setting your sights on? And when you see it, will you be ready? Just pick up the phone, dial 1-800-645-ARMY, and you'll get this free DVD. You'll learn about the hundreds of opportunities the Army can offer you. Skills, education, healthcare. Call 1-800-645-ARMY, and you'll also get this free boonie hat. Whatever you're looking for, the Army can help you find it.
Great news, Mrs. Wilson. Credit Card of America is able to cut your monthly credit card payments by $248.
Mr. Lynch, it looks like you'll be able to save over $13,000 in interest payments with Credit Card of America.
Credit Card of America is a non-profit credit counseling company.
We're here to help you solve your credit problems and meet your financial goals.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now.
If you are $3,000 or more in debt and 30 days behind in payments, we can help you. So call our toll-free number.
Our certified credit counselors are standing by to provide you with free credit counseling services and assist you in becoming debt-free.
Take this important first step toward financial freedom right now and call Credit Card of America. Certified credit counselors are standing by right now. Call Credit Card of America.
We can assist you in becoming debt-free.
Jason from California.
Kathy, Michigan.
Today, thousands of people will go to Progressive.com, where they'll get their quote for car insurance and see what other people have been quoted as well. Whether Progressive is the highest or the lowest, you'll see it all. Go to Progressive.com, because the more you know, the easier it is to make a smart decision.
Worms and germs can attack your computer.
Something's wrong with your computer and you've tried everything.
Try this.
One quick click. Velos will keep your entire system virus-free, safe, and secure.
With Velos, to make it faster than the day you got it.
Visit Velos.com.
And make it quick.
If you even think you're slowing down, get a free virus scan at Velos.com and make it fast.
Still made of pure spite, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
But with a little bit of apathy sprinkled on top.
You know, sometimes tragic world events happen and make things that once seemed entertaining kind of uncomfortable.
For example, in an age of horrible terrorism, it's unfortunate that Ubisoft released a cute game for children called Bomberman.
Yes, Bomberman has been around since the 90s, so it's really not the character's fault. I'm sure there's at least a few nice American kids born prior to 9/11 named Osama who are very, very angry at their parents right now.
But since Bomberman can't help the name, at least he can make a game pretty darn entertaining. Here's our review of Bomberman DS.
A long time ago, back in the days when 8 bits meant more than just a pint at O'Malley's, Game developers created simple games that incorporated both puzzle and action. Most of these games never reached the next generation of consoles. One game has managed to outlive its predecessors, the consoles that used to play it, and the careers of all the American Idol winners. Go ahead, name one of them. I'm talking about Bomberman. In his latest adventure, this blaster master makes his way over to the DS for more destruction, more puzzling, and more general bombardment.
We must bring down Bomberman. Lights? Bombtopolis, capital of Bomberland, nestled between Bomb Volcano and Bomberwood, was mysteriously and without provocation bombed. You have reason to believe that Bomberman, seen here with a bomb, was responsible. Denizens of such areas as the desert, under the water, and this poorly designed green tile area have been advised to be on the lookout.
Yes, Bomberman, doing whatever a bomber can. This game isn't about you against the enemy. I mean, just look at them, wandering aimlessly, practically harmless, without goal or merit. Really, it's like going to a Fish concert. The most dangerous person to your survival is... No, not this guy. Nope, you're not even trying. It's you. Luckily, the bottom screen allows you to use some of your saved power-ups once you bite the big bomb. Though we applaud Bomberman for keeping true to his roots, we can't help but wish that the single-player quest was less tedious. Don't start turning your DS off just yet. There are 2 words that will keep you hopping like a mad bomber into the night. Battle mode. Amazingly enough, Bomberman takes advantage of both screens on the DS. Take on 7 other friends with 1 cartridge. Bomb. Take control of areas, play different arenas, play mystery power-up, play on the bottom, play on the top, play both. Play revenge mode where the game is only starting after you die. By yelling bomb into the mic, you can toss your own shocking shells into the fray. X-Play would like to remind everyone that yelling bomb in such areas as a theater, subways, buses, buildings, near police, or anywhere in the public is not the best of ideas. We suggest blowing into the mic.
Bomberman is a bastion of wanton sex and depravity. Bomberman's battle mode has been described as turn on, shocking, and you blow into the mic. And we all know what that means.
I know what that means.
Even if you're lacking in numbers, the computer provides enough bots to fill out the ranks. Despite a lackluster single-player mode, Bomberman's all-out battle mode more than makes up for that dud. That's why we give Bomberman for the DS a 4 out of 5.
Don't run away. We've got something for the Final Fantasy fans in just a moment.
What if I'm not a Final Fantasy fan?
Well, you'll watch it anyway because it's pretty and it's violent. And you can make fun of it.
Okay.
Up next, my, what big swords you have. It's Final Fantasy Advent Children.
People look at my hair, and they don't realize it's been restored. This is transplanted hair. My name is Papillon, and I'm a senior counselor for Bosley. It's easy to see where my hair loss was headed just a few years ago, but I made the choice not to be bald. I went to Bosley for a free consultation. It changed my life. It gave me back my confidence. So I decided to work for Bosley because I believe in what they do. I know you have questions. That's why you need to come in. You won't be pressured to do anything. It's a decision you have to make. But I can tell you from firsthand experience, if you decide to go with Bosley, it'll change your life. I've seen it on myself and countless other men and women. I've seen it make a difference. If you choose to be bald, well, that's okay. But if you're tired of it and you want to make a change, it's time to make that call. The first step is free. There's no pressure and no obligation. But you need to make the call.
Starting a new garden doesn't have to be back-breaking. Not when you have the Mantis Tiller Cultivator. It does all the hard work for you. The Mantis Tiller weighs only 20 pounds. It's easy for anyone to handle. The powerful 2-cycle engine spins the patented tines deep into the soil. They dig down, cutting through the hardest clay and tangled weeds. They're so tough, they're actually guaranteed never to break. Yet the Mantis maneuvers nimbly, even in the tightest places. Tilling, weeding, and cultivating have never been easier. Now you can get this amazing Mantis Tiller Cultivator at huge factory direct savings. Plus, we'll give you this border edger free. Use the Mantis for a full year. And if you're not delighted, return it for a prompt, no questions asked refund. Call now and we'll send you complete information. It's yours free with no obligation.
Call 1-800-580-8170 for more information. That's 1-800-580-8170. Call now.
Well, how come you haven't called me back?
Because I was drunk and just using you for sex, okay?
Really?
Brutally honest? Watch X-Play. Next.
Should I host Euphoria? I mean, my agent told me he's the mother of all video game award shows. I wonder if Chuck Norris ever hosted an award ceremony. I bet I can move like him. God, I'm moving like Chuck Norris. Yeah, it's Euphoria. Now that's exposure.
Still hooked on phonics. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Thought you got off of that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Hating it.
Welcome back to X-Play. We have come at last, the moment the Final Fantasy fans have been waiting for.
Yes, well, the first Final Fantasy movie, The Spirits Within, tanked. This movie is a sequel to what is arguably the most popular Final Fantasy game of all time, Final Fantasy VII.
And at least initially, it's being released exclusively for the PSP. So why would you want to buy it? Gorgeous. Here's a look at Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
俺には誰も助けられないと思うんだ。誰も。
我々はセフィロスが残した影響の調査を始めた。
クラードの病気なの？戦う気なんかないんだ。
聖魂は体内に救った異物を排除するシステムの過剰な働きが原因だし。
母さんはどこだ？兄さんが隠してるんだろ。
母さんの力が必要なんだよ。リユニオンにはどうしても。星がみんなの邪魔をして僕たちの成長を止めてしまおうとしている。家族で力を合わせて星に仕返しするんだ。
来ちゃったね。自分が壊れそうなのにね。
子供たちを迎えに来た。残念だけど裏切り者なんだよ。
その気になれば再びセフィロスを作り出すことができる。
じゃあそろそろ終わりにしよう。
どうせ僕は操り人間。昔のあんたと同じだ。
Okay, I know you don't like Final Fantasy, but that looks pretty cool.
Okay, the action looks awesome. The story, if that's what you can call it, looks ridiculous. So you're gonna buy it, and I'm gonna watch your copy.
Fine. And we have just enough time for viewer mail. Yay! Today's viewer mail is from Fanboy Killer. He writes, next-gen stuff is coming out and Nintendo hasn't really shown us anything. What would you tell Nintendo to do to stay in the console race? Because, you know, Nintendo totally listens to us.
Yes, they do. More games!
That's the problem, is they don't really have a lot of, like, third-party support.
They don't have a lot of games. They don't have them as frequently as they want. There's been nothing this summer. Nothing. Zero, nothing.
There haven't been a lot of games out this summer, but Nintendo really has been in a drought.
Having a lot of old games available on the Revolution, I mean, that's kind of sold me right there.
That's awesome. I think a lot of people are going to buy it as, like, their second console for just that reason.
No, I mean, there might be people who will buy it for the first console, but well, I don't know what they're going to do. What is this controller going to be? I think it's going to be a belt.
We'll see. I'm not worried about the
I think you
controller.
get the
It's a
Nintendo
controller.
belt, the power belt.
How badly could they possibly mess up the controller?
A belt. Except my pants won't fall down, and Nintendo will be, to thank for that.
So glad Nintendo doesn't listen to Adam.
Please.